started to feel some mastery jumping rope, so they tried 2 ropes. And we'll connect these 2 elements with the person, and suddenly you have the environment and the demands of the activity. So maintaining self-regulation here requires a certain level of automated response to the ever-changing environment and different demands of the activity. So you're starting to feel pretty good with this 2 ropes, but you're getting a little tired, as I'm sure you will after a while. So you go back to your 1 rope, and the next thing you know, somebody comes in and starts jumping with you. So that's a little disorienting, but you start working together, and you're reading the other person's tone and intensity and pace and volume, so that you're both clearing your feet over the rope at the same time, ensuring your success in this activity together. So this we would probably call basic communication, right? But I think we all know that human interaction and these rich conversations that we get to have with each other don't necessarily happen at this basic communication style. They're more the double Dutch style of more double Dutch level, I guess we'll call it. So here we're kind of flowing with another person in conversation. There's that moment to think about what you want to say, and then go back and say it. You're really having to flow with each other. So in the case of a housing interview, or even just a conversation with a peer, this is going to look like responding to questions both with appropriate timing, but also an appropriate answer. I think we all know what that doesn't look like. For some of the populations occupational therapists work with, these interactions can feel like I did in 4th grade, the first and only time I tried double Dutch, which was discouraged, clumsy, and just on the brink of toppling over. So through the STEP protocol, which is really great, is that you can sort of artificially and playfully create sort of this rhythmic rehearsal where, again, you can make these mistakes and learn that rhythm of human communication. So we'll now look at the application of STEP Group 2, the STEP group we heard so much about, to a pediatric population. The population I work with had varying diagnoses, but they're referred to occupational therapy services to address the following skills: regulation of emotional and behavioral responses, sensory processing, development of social abilities, we've talked a lot about, school readiness, self-care, independent work skills, and group participation skills. So the outpatient pediatric clinic I was at in North Idaho, I did my field work at this last summer. They serve clients birth to 18 and also offered physical and speech therapy services. Demographically, there is predominantly Caucasian, although there's a large divergence between socioeconomic and education levels. Some of the children have been removed from their homes and are now living in foster care or with grandparents, and many of them come from single-parent households. I think one of the real strengths that you'll see with the STEP protocol is that it harnesses the universality of music. And so what I really saw was that it crossed all cultural boundaries. So this is going to be a very, very abbreviated look at the STEP group I ran with 3 clients, aged 7 to 9. So we began with an introduction, as we always do. We started every group with circle time. And so they'd come in and they'd sit and talk with each other and gather a consensus about what they wanted to do that day. And then they would take turns and they'd draw it on a chalkboard that was there for them, and to establish this consensus. So here they're able to kind of work on their not only school readiness, fine motor skills, ideation, but most importantly, their communication and collaboration skills with their peers. It's worth noting here that despite the fact that these 3 kids have worked with each other for 3 months now, successful completion of this initial circle time introduction, it seems very basic, required numerous verbal prompts for myself for successful completion. So then we transitioned to a smaller gym where I had set up, anticipating that this could be a challenging activity. I'd already set up chairs in a circle, and we led a very, very, very basic beat to begin with. Kind of a little more visible for you all here. So it started out just really simple. We were all sitting, and it was a right foot, left foot, clap. That was it. So learning this really simple reciprocal rhythm mimics some of the expectations that you have with school-age children. So sitting quietly in class or in circle, waiting for directions, actually listening to the directions once they've been given. And what I saw, which was actually quite neat, was with this group, they were able to, with only visual cueing, successfully complete that simple pattern 4 times. But again, given some of their challenges, that was a huge success. Of course, we're occupational therapists, and it's not that much fun for a kid to sit in a circle and stomp their feet with somebody telling what to do, so we want to be client-centered. I think we know know that in a pediatric population, play is often both the ends and means of intervention. And so the activity was like creatively graded to be more client-centered. And forgive me, I wore sneakers for this. Our final pattern that we came up with is very different than some of the other groups, but it was a let's see, right leg karate kick with a clap. Then you jump up and spin around. And then finally you put your hands over your face and collapse on the ground and say, "Oh, brother." So it's silly. And of course we repeated it 3 times and I'm getting nauseous and oh God, when's this over? They're having the time of their lives. And it seems really silly, I'm sure. It seems silly to me. But through this creative license, I was able to gain their engagement, which is the most important. But they were able to get this confidence that it was okay to have their own beat in the world. This is an arena where a karate kick and a clap is really valued. It led to this really incredible discussion too, which I think was really the meat of it all. And I'll share those following questions with you in just a moment. And when I do, I just want you to recall the challenges these group members had planning today's activities. And when I was explaining how painful it was for them to have sort of these more traditional communications, which I think for this population, sometimes normal communication can feel really, really threatening. So again, the application, like I said, the most rich from my perspective included these questions. What was easy about the activity? What was hard? What made it easier or harder? When do you have to listen to your friends, your teachers, your parents? What makes that easy? What makes it hard? Is it easier to do your own motion or a peer's? Is it easier to do your own thing throughout the day or somebody else's? What happens if you never listen to anybody else's suggestions or ideas? What did your body learn, and how can you use that information in the future? So those are pretty complex questions, and it did answer some of the questions directly to greater or lesser degrees. But most importantly, what it provided was a platform and a shared language for them to begin expressing some of the unique challenges that this population faces. For instance, they were able to identify experiences in which they hadn't felt heard. One participant expressed sadness, his teacher ignoring him when he had his hand raised, feeling like she wasn't seeing him, like he wasn't being noticed. And another participant expressed sadness that his son wasn't cool enough for his brother, so that they didn't want to play with him. So these reflections were facilitated through participation in an activity that directly addresses communication, but in a way that you've seen is really